viewers, good evening. Thank you for joining us on India Upfront. I want to begin by asking you, what is Raj Dharma? It is a concept discussed extensively in our Dharma Shastras. It is a Sanskrit term for the duty of the king. The basic spirit behind Raj Dharma is to ensure peace and prosperity of the people, and in doing so, the state is also expected to maintain impartiality and serve every single subject with the same dedication, irrespective of their caste, creed, race or religion or any other factor. Now, while India prides itself in being a democracy, those who govern are also expected to morally be bound by the same principles. However, the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has today done something that, while being branded as Raj Dharma, does not seem to be fulfilling the criteria. A week ahead of Muharram, Didi has instructed special barricades to be placed along the path of processions to be taken out by the faithfuls. The TMC chief has said that this is necessary to maintain law and order, ensure public safety, and to prevent any potential communal tensions or clashes.
মহরমে যেন কোনো দুর্ঘটনা না ঘটে নজর রাখবেন। আমি কি ইতিমধ্যেই পুলিশকে অনেকবার বলেছি যে দাসের ব্যারিকেড করে দেবেন, যাতে ব্যারিকেডের মধ্যে দিয়ে ওরা যেতে পারে, ওদের কোনো অবস্ট্রাকশন না হয়, মানুষের কোনো অবস্ট্রাকশন না হয়। এটা খুব সেনসিটিভ সাবজেক্ট, এটা দেখে নিতে হবে। জেলাগুলোকেও সেম রুল ইজ টু বি অ্যাপ্লাই টু দ্য ডিস্ট্রিক্ট অলসো। মানুষ দেখে নাও, কমিশনারগুলোকেও বলে দাও।
The opposition refuses to buy any of Mamata Banerjee's arguments, citing Didi's past statements. The BJP says this is yet another proof of Mamata Banerjee's soft corner only for a particular community, especially since she makes no such effort to ensure security of Ram Navmi Shobha Yatra and even takes offense to Jai Shri Ram slogans. All this while making special concessions for Muslims. In fact, even Congress is pointing out the blatant appeasement behind this move. Sample the reactions.
The problem with BJP is that their only mission and vision is Islamophobia. Mamata Banerjee is the administrative head of the state. So Mamata Banerjee, as the chief minister and the de facto home minister, is doing her Raj Dharma.
मुहर्रम के लिए पर एक विशेष कॉरिडोर बनाने की बात हो रही है। ये ममता बनर्जी की सरकार ही है जिसने कहा था कि मुस्लिम हमारी दुधारू गाय की तरह वोट बैंक है, एक आध दो लात भी मारे तो कोई नहीं, हमें सहना पड़ता है। तुष्टिकरण के चलते किस प्रकार से ममता बनर्जी की सरकार ने चाहे मदरसों को 5,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा का आवंटन किया हो, या जिस प्रकार से वो लगातार कदम उठाती है, ये दिखाई देता है। दुर्गा पूजा विसर्जन यात्रा को भी रोकने का काम ममता दीदी ने किया था, उनकी सरकार ने किया था, और मुहर्रम के ताजिया को जाने दिया था।
মুহররম সারা জীবন চলেছে বাংলায়, ছোট থেকে আমরা দেখেছি তাজিয়া। সেখানে আপনারা তো হস্তক্ষেপ দরকার কি আছে? পুলিশের পারমিশন নেয় নেবে, পুলিশ দেখবে। আপনি তার জন্য আলাদা করে ব্যবস্থা করছেন, এই বার্তা দিতে চাইছেন আপনি, দেখো মুসলমান তোমাদের জন্য কত ভাবছি আমি, আমাকে ভুলে যেও না, সামনে 2026-এর ভোট আসছে, তোমাদের সমর্থন যেন আমার সাথে তাকেই তো গল্প আপনার।
Let's open this up. Shehzad Poonwalla, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Anand Ranganathan needs no introduction. Professor Monojit Mondol, political analyst. Lokesh Jindal also on the show. And Atikur Rahman completes the panel. Gentlemen, good evening. I want to begin by asking you, Shehzad. The TMC is saying that this is Raj Dharma. Why is the BJP calling it appeasement? What is wrong with this?
Because today, Pranesh, TMC does not mean Trinamool Congress, it means Tushtikaran Mujhe Chahiye. And this Tushtikaran has reached such levels. First of all, why do they need to have a separate corridor for Muharram? Are Muslims not safe to remove a Muharram procession in Mamata Banerjee's West Bengal? Or is she saying that in the Durga Puja Visarjan Yatra there will be a stop? The High Court has to approve it. In Ram Navmi and Saraswati Puja she will put a halt. The High Courts and the courts have to approve it. But in the case of Muharram there will be a special Votebank category that will get special privileges. And these special privileges, I remember I did a debate with you, 5,300 crores for madrasas. Alia University of West Bengal, even there they are requiring, which is the West Bengal government university, says that even in engineering job you need Islamic culture and knowledge in Islamic culture. Then you have the situation where Jai Shri Ram, if it is said, you are arrested. You have leaders of the Trinamool Congress who go out and say that being a non-Hindu, being a non-Muslim is actually very unfortunate and you should convert into Islam. The mayor of Kolkata has said this. You have a situation where the West Bengal government treats the Hindus in an unfair manner, not on one, on series of occasions. So clearly, whether it is law and order, whether it is social sector, whether it is education sector, Tushtikaran has invaded all spaces to the extent that even when Hindus are raped in Sandesh Kali, the Trinamool Congress government stands with Shahjahan. When there is a Chopra-type Talibani incident, the Trinamool Congress stands with Tajmul and with the MLA who said that this is Muslim Rashtra and the woman is characterless. This shows the true face of Trinamool Congress, unabashed Hindu hatred and Muslim appeasement politics, which has been taken to a next level. Why not a corridor for Durga Puja Visarjan? Why not a corridor for Ram Navmi Shobha Yatra, which actually gets attacked by people who have stones collected in their terraces?
Professor Manojit Mondal, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was asked this question and he said that, look, we've seen Muharram processions since childhood. Why does Mamata Banerjee have to make a special mention of this? He's also calling it blatant appeasement.
No, I do not think people of Bengal now need to hear what Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is talking about, who is even not properly owned by the Congress party, who was disowned by the people of Murshidabad. We do not want to dignify any comment by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, or for that matter, the member from what you call BJP or Bharat Jalao party. We do not want to hear from them the lectures about communal harmony, communal peace and prosperity. They are a party which I think insularly, automatically hate the Muslims. The fact remains that day before yesterday, in Bengal, you had thousands and lakhs of procession for Rath Yatra. Nothing has happened. Not a single news on your channel or any other channel. This was also a typical Hindu festival. Right? In Durga Puja, we have a special corridor. I am inviting Mr. Shehzad Poonwalla to come and see Durga Puja Carnival, which has been recognized worldwide as World Heritage. You do not know anything about Bengali culture or Bengal, and you lecture about Bengal from sitting in Delhi, and that's why you are called the anti-Bengal or anti-Bengali party. Rightly so. People of Bengal have shown you the door just 1 month ago when you are defeated. You are now down to 12 from 18. You have one agenda of Islamophobia, hating the Islam, and we are a political party. TMC is a political party.
Professor Manojit Mondal, can I ask you are accusing the BJP of being Islamophobic. Would you say the same about the Congress? Because you have a reaction from Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. He represents the Congress party.
I repeat, we do not consider this person to be the chief spokesperson of the Congress party. We have nothing to do with Bengal Congress that is led by this man, right? I have said it again and again, TMC has said it again and again, and now people of Bengal should not hear to this person because he has been disowned by his own people in Murshidabad.
Okay.
And quote-unquote an outsider has defeated him.
Okay.
And so emphatically, he should be
you asked a
ashamed
question of
himself
the
by calling
BJP. A
himself
quick
Congress.
response from the BJP, then I'm coming to you, Doctor.
Forget taking me and showing me the Durga Puja Visarjan corridor. You show it to the Kolkata High Court, which in 2017 cancelled the biased order of Mamata Banerjee, where she prohibited Durga Puja Visarjan Yatra and she allowed only the Tazia. So convince the Kolkata High Court. Secondly, today the Bengali people have been insulted. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary might be our opponent. He may be Lokesh Jindal party person, but he has been abused by Monojit for somebody who comes from, in their language, outside. Yusuf Pathan is an insider. Shatrughan Sinha is an insider. Kirti Azad, whose father, what he had done with a Bengali girl, apparently it's in the news, is an insider. But today Adhir Da has been abused. I ask Lokesh Jindal, chalo meri to party Shama Prasad Mukherjee ne banai. I am still an outsider. But Adhir Da is an outsider. Lokesh Jindal, agar aap mein himmat hai, agar aap mein naitikta hai, Yusuf Pathan is insider for them. For us, everyone is insider. Nobody is bahar ka. Everyone is Indian. But I am asking Lokesh Jindal today that Adhir Da has been insulted by this Manojit Mondal, and you are listening to it.
Quick response, Lokesh.
Well, you do not call this an insult. Mr. Chaudhary expressed his views. And similarly, Mr. Manojit Mondal, he has expressed his views.
No, what is your view? How do you see this? This special corridor for Muharram, what is your view, Lokesh?
My view is, Pranesh, we just saw what happened in Hathras. Due to poor crowd management, we saw so many innocents losing their lives. And it's a lesson that UP can probably learn from Bengal.
Okay.
In Bengal, whether it is Durga Puja Visarjan, there is a special corridor. And even now, when there is a Muharram procession, there is a better crowd management, better corridor, better facilities to make sure that such a form of stampede or untoward incident doesn't happen.
This is to ensure that a Hathras-like incident does not happen. Like, again, Dr. Ranganathan, your chance to now come in and set this into context.
Good evening, Pranesh, and good evening to my fellow panelists. First of all, I'm very thankful that according to Lokesh, Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi are going to visit Bengal and express solidarity with those who have been beaten publicly by meting out these Taliban-style punishment. I think it's very good of Rahul Gandhi to go to Bengal now after he's gone to Manipur. So, Lokesh, thank you very much. And this is what is expected of Congress party. Sorry, did I hear it right? Is Rahul Gandhi going to go to Bengal? Oh, okay, that was fake news. So let's ignore that. No, Pranesh, let me come back to this topic. It's very important. Lokesh, I did interrupt you and I've been waiting very patiently. Pranesh, what is the fact? The fact is that hatred for Hindus, I repeat, hatred for Hindus has been perfected into an art form by the TMC. It required the two strands, open discrimination against Hindus and open appeasement for Muslims, to be intertwined. And the TMC has achieved this to an extent that it is now almost impossible to disentangle the two. Let me explain. By giving you facts, by claiming recently that some monks of the Ramakrishna Mission and ISKCON are BJP stooges. Mamata Di mainstreamed Hindu phobia to an unprecedented extent. Remember how Didi recently warned Hindus to not venture into quote-unquote Muslim areas? Or her silence at TMC Sheikh Alam boasting 4 Pakistans can be created if 30% Muslims come together. Or her silence at TMC MLA saying Taliban-style beatings are happening in Muslim Rashtra. Or her silence at Mayor saying being non-Muslim is unfortunate. Or her silence at Havra violence in response to Nupur, or giving ticket to Sayoni of condom over shivling fame. Or whether it be changing Ram Dhenu to Wrong Dhenu, taking objection to Jai Shri Ram slogans, opposing CAA, calling Batla encounter fake, appointing a Muslim on Tarkeshwar Temple Board, providing midday meal dining hall for only those schools having 70% or more minority students, curtailing the time duration traditionally permitted for Durga idol immersion to make way for Muharram procession, granting 2.6 crores of taxpayers' money to Furfura Sharif, promising to give land to imams for construction of houses, paying more than 30,000 imams, 2,500 per month, and over 15,000 muezzins, 1,500 per month, till this blatant communal move was struck down by the High Court. 8 years later, in the face of uproar, she sanctioned a much lower stipend and much lesser number for Hindu priests. Muslims form 30% of Bengal population, but 66% of the OBC groups in Bengal are Muslims. And when accused of Muslim appeasement, she had famously said, if you remember, "Je goru doodh dei, tar latio khete hoy." If a cow gives milk, one has to be prepared for kicks. So that is the fact. Let her be prepared for kicks, but unfortunately, it is the common citizen that has been kicked.
This is the corridor of appeasement, Professor Monojit Mandal. You're still smiling?
Yes, I smile because, you know, his lies, deceits and venoms are quite well known to the people of Bengal, and my friend has been doing this for the last, how many years? 5-6 years at a straight, without any effect. He is actually always, please, hang on, you are lecturing, hang on, you are lecturing about, you know, courtesy and, you know, decorum. You are lecturing
Professor
about courtesy and decorum. And let me
Pranesh,
speak now.
please ask him to refute me.
Uninterruptedly. Did I interrupt you? Did I
No, but you are lying now. You refute me.
In a minute. In a 30 seconds.
Call me out.
You always...
One by one. Professor Mondal.
Beat your luminous
Dr. Ranganathan, one by one.
You are actually an ineffectual... You are actually an ineffectual angel who beats his luminous wings in the void. In a good English, you beat your wings in void. Nothing, without any effect. People of Bengal reply you. 1 month back I tell you, we were talking about kicks. Who got kicked, my dear friend? It's you and your
Professor
party, BJP.
Mondal,
Shubhendu
click
Sekar,
my
for that matter.
I just want to say, let's not get personal. Professor Mondal, please.
Hang on. Look at me. What is this? What is this, man? I was supposed to speak, now. I'm supposed to speak.
Let him answer that question. Dr. Ranganathan, then I'll come back to you. Okay, sir, okay. Respond to what he said. Dr. Ranganathan is saying that this is the corridor of appeasement. That's his charge. Now respond to that.
Party, yes. You are corridor of conflict. You people believe in corridor of conflict. You rose to power and prominence in 1992 by demolishing Babri. You are a party of conflict. You believe in conflict. You spread hatred, communal hatred. You do not love any political, any Hindus or Muslims or any party. You only love your culture of violence. And everyone in this country and the world knows. There have been researches on this. You rose to prominence through rioting. Through rioting, through communal tension, by spreading communal hatred. That's
Professor Mondal, I have a question. Before Dr. Ranganathan comes in, I just want to ask you, you're talking about Babri demolition. No. By that standard, the TMC should not be in an alliance with Uddhav Thackeray, because Shiv Sena, UBT, has been saying that, yes, we demolished Babri. They wear it as a badge of honor. Yet, you are part of that alliance.
BJP, this doesn't matter. They have understood, because for them, BJP is the bigger enemy, political enemy. BJP also had alliance with Mehbooba Mufti. What's wrong in that? BJP also had alliance with
because the BJP has done it, you will do it too. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, you wanted to come in.
No, I just wanted to say to my good friend Professor Mondal, he uses this.
Deal from BJP, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray.
Okay, now Professor Mondal, I didn't interrupt you. I heard you. Now, just to repeat what Professor Mondal, my good friend, said, that Anand speaks in embellished, I can't remember the word used, embellished English that he uses as his wings or luminosity. So it's an open challenge to you. I will buy you scissors, clip my wings, refute even one of my 17 facts. Open challenge to you, Professor Mondal. And if you can't, you promise you will send me Mysore Park. Promise.
Will you take up the challenge, Professor Mondal?
I do not need to do it, my dear friend. I have said it again and again, and people of Bengal have read what I have said.
You can send Rasagullas if you want, if not Mysore Park.
Because ineffectual. You have been doing it for a very long time. Luminous swings. You are a highly erudite man with such unblemished record of English, but quite ineffectually, without any effect, my dear friend. People of Bengal don't believe in you.
Okay, let's bring in the BJP now.
Don't trust in your word.
Good to see all smiling, but let's get in the BJP.
Rasgullas are always there for you, my dear friend.
Okay, Shehzad Poonawalla coming in. Shehzad Poonawalla, the charge on the BJP is that you are doing this deliberately to engineer and inflame passions. There is nothing wrong with this corridor.
Well, if that is the case, then whose responsibility was it to ensure that the Ram Navmi Shobha Yatra would be safe? And when the Ram Navmi Shobha Yatra gets attacked, then a clean sheet is given to one community saying that these people are doing iftar and roza, they can never attack anybody, which means the Hindu is the only violent person. Anand Ranganathan quoted facts. I may have several disagreements with Anand, but today not one fact given by him in the 17 facts is wrong. In fact, let me just quote one. The Bengal High Court has said that the inclusion of 77 castes of Muslim community into the OBC was an act of vote bank. This is a High Court uncontroverted order. And here is a recent statement of Uddhav Sena which said that we destroyed the Babri in 17 minutes. Now Manojit Da, without going idhar udhar, by your own standards, those who demolished Babri are communal, then what is Uddhav Sena? And secondly, when the High Court has called you out no less that you have included Muslims in OBC, India Alliance says OBC, 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 here the Muslims were given overnight all the benefits of OBC and it was done for vote bank. Is the High Court being communal? Or is the High Court creating conflict?
Okay. Manojit. Mr. Mondal. Yes.
I'll reply. First of all, yes, that High Court order is not yet sacrosanct. There is a Supreme Court and the Bengal government has moved to the Supreme Court. On what basis, on what modalities the High Court has caused these, judgment, caused this
No, but
order
that,
of the government?
that still stays till you hear from the Supreme Court, Professor Mondal.
Have the patience to listen to it. Yeah. Listen to me. If the Supreme Court says this, that's fine. But fact remains, even then the facts are unalterable in this country. It's a fact after the Sachar Committee report that Muslim communities, most of them are still living abysmally in this country.
Let me tell you, let me remind you, Professor Mondal, and I want to bring in Atikur Rahman also. Atikur Rahman has been listening to this intently. Atikur Rahman Saab, last year, Mamata Banerjee had urged devotees celebrating Ram Navmi to kindly, her words not mine, kindly avoid Muslim areas as Ramzan is going on. What does this tell you? If you see this with the corridor that has now been proposed for Muharram.
Pranesh, this has been a very typical on the part of the BJP to charge the opposition and mainly Mamata Banerjee to appease the Muslims. Here comes the question that if they were correct, since 10 years they are doing this, if they were correct, the people of India would have not voted this opposition parties to a state wherein the BJP is on its knees in the parliament. So they are proved wrong. Every time you can't say that share aaya, where there is no share on it. Here the question is the Kavod Yatras, the arrangements the UP government makes is much lesser than what Mamata Didi is making for the Muharram 10-day processions. It's only a 1-day procession in a 10-day celebration of Muharram. You compare it with Ayodhya celebrations, what the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister did. Was this not Hindu appeasement in Ayodhya that you are crying on these lines of Muslim appeasement? You know, where the Muslims are asking for any appeasement, you shun that off. Without any appeasement of any Chief Minister, any Prime Minister, we can have our festivities within our mohallas, within our masjid, within our areas, within our houses.
Okay, Shehzad, answer that question. This is much less than what the UP government has done during Kavod Yatras.
First of all, Pranesh, if the voting is the answer to everything, then in that case, then why do you call BJP communal when it has won Gujarat over 27 years? That means the people of Gujarat have rejected whatever claims you make and whatever propaganda you spread about Gujarat and about people of Gujarat being communal. Anyways, your standards change according to the state. When the state is governed by TMC, you will have different standard. When state is governed by BJP, you will have in Gujarat EVMs and in Bengal what? I mean, only somebody like you, Maulana Atikur Rahman, can make this argument. Only you can make this argument. Nobody else can make. Gujarat में EVM है और बंगाल में सब freedom है. Okay, very good argument. Secondly,
in Bengal, you have control on
secondly, Pranesh, can I continue?
Yeah, please.
Pranesh, can I continue? Pranesh, since you are talking about Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath ji has set the benchmark. When the loudspeakers were removed as per the High Court and Supreme Court order, whether it was a mandir or a masjid, whichever structure was having a illegal loudspeaker, both of them were removed. Whenever discipline has to be maintained, it is maintained for the Kavod Yatra also, it is maintained for the Muharram Yatra also. There is no distinction. But in the case of West Bengal, you are giving even the engineering jobs based on the person who has Islamic culture. Arey sir, please stop interrupting.
Okay, no, Pranesh, I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan. In 2016, this is what the High Court had observed.
Pranesh, let me complete one line.
You asked a question. 1 minute, sir. Let's do
Pranesh, why are you allowing him to behave like this? But let me just complete one line. Pranesh, just let me complete one line.
You asked a question, he's responding to you. Shehzad, quickly make your point.
One line. Just one thing. You are having special corridor for Muharram. That is good. Please have it. Why did you put a prohibition on Ram Navmi Yatras? The people had to approach the court. So one community does not have to go to High Court to get whatever it wants, and the other Bahusankyak Samaj has to rush to the court for every basic need. That is the distinction.
Okay. Dr. Ranganathan, in 2016, the High Court had observed, and I'm quoting now, the state government has been irresponsibly brazen in its conduct of being partial to one community. This is the delay in Visarjan of goddess Durga idols.
Pranesh, let me first expose the rampant hypocrisy and lies being meted out by a couple of panelists out here who are good friends. Number one, when Maulana Saab says, forget about the appeasement to Muslims, what about it appeasing the Hindus? And he brings out an example of Kawad Yatra or during the, I think, Chhat Puja or some other festival that he mentioned. I am aghast. This is a secular country. Why is it that only in a secular country, only Hindu temples are under state control? Why are billions and billions upon billions being leased off only Hindu temples if in return the government spends a fraction of that money it is looting from Hindu temples? Even then they have an objection. Leave the control of Hindu temples. Let the Hindus worry about their festivals, their Kawadi Yatras. The one corridor that you spend 350 crores in making that Kashi thing, that is equivalent to 1 month hundi collection of Tirupati. But there, they want the Hindu temples to be under control, and still they cry if a few rose petals are showered upon Kawad Yatras. This is the hypocrisy. And number two, as far as Professor Monojit Mandal says, please give me a minute, it's very important to expose this hypocrisy. He talked about the Sachar committee vote. I'll give you the data. Let us look at the condition of Muslims in a state that has never been ruled by the BJP, Bengal. In Bengal, Muslims are poorer than any other community, with their population growing twice the rate of Hindus. According to the periodic labor force survey, only 13% Bengali Muslims have regular salaried jobs. Figure for India is 22.1%. 35% Bengali Muslims work as casual laborers. Figure for India is 24%. Muslims in Bengal earn 27 to 40% lower than Muslims in the rest of India. Muslims make up 30% of Bengal population, but only 7% of all university and college teachers in Bengal are Muslims. And if you discount madrasas, the figure is even more minuscule. Literacy rate for Muslims is 7% lower than the state average. This is after 40 years of rule by those who claim to work for them. Another example of discrimination is the Disturbed Areas Act, where a Muslim is forced to live in Muslim ghettos and not mix. And who brought this law? Yes, the Congress. But now, 30 seconds. Let us look at Muslims in BJP-ruled Gujarat. Their rural per capita income is higher than Hindus. They occupy same percentage of higher government posts as their population share. Their literacy rate is 6% higher than national average. I think it is time, beyond politics, the Muslims realize that appeasement is hurting their community the more, because a Bengali Muslim is worse off than an Indian Muslim.
Professor Mondal, you have the last word on the show before we move on.
What? Yes. IIM Ahmedabad, 104 teachers, not a single SC, OBC, ST. IIM Kolkata, 86 teachers, not a single OBC, SC, ST. Shillong, 20 teachers, not a single ST, OBC and SC. And how many vice chancellors do you have in the central universities as Muslim, SC and ST? What are you talking about? Rangatan, is the picture everywhere in the country. If your data is okay, refute my data. I've talked about 4 or 5 IIM institutes. Not a single Muslim teacher. Forget about Muslim teacher. Not even an SC/ST teacher. How many Muslim vice chancellors do you have in the central universities? Out of 750 universities that you have in this country? Not how many? Barely 2 or 3. Not more than that. What are you talking about? How many Muslim vice chancellors you have in UP, which does have one of the highest Muslim populations in the country? How many Muslim vice chancellors? How many Muslim teachers do you have in UP? How many Muslim vice chancellors have in Gujarat? What are you talking
Shehzad,
about?
answer that question. You are talking about Sabka Saath. Professor Mondal reading out the hard facts to you.
Ironically, the reports that he was quoting earlier, the Sachar Committee and Rangnath Mishra proposed that the SC/ST share should be cut and given to Muslims. So which side is he on? And by the way, Trinamool Congress has opposed OBC caste census for all the proposal made by the India Alliance. So today I ask Manojit Mandal, is he in favor of OBC caste census in India Alliance or is he against it? First answer that question.
Answer my questions.
IIM, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Shillong, not a single SC, ST, OBC teacher. Why? Answer my question.
I will answer your question first. I should know your stand. You are giving OBC rights to Muslims. You are giving SC, ST rights to Muslims. And then I should believe you. Your data has as much credibility as Trinamool Congress preaching about secularism.
Forget about the Muslim teachers.
I have answered your question, Manavar. I have answered your question. The day you answer as to why 77 Muslim castes are included in OBC list, your data is as fraud as your ministers. Like Partha.
That is because of their poverty line. You did not hear my answer. Because of their poverty line, we are trying to do everything for this kind of community,
Partha's poverty line.
Religion.
But Partha's poverty line was forcing him to do corruption.
You do not give them jobs.
Okay, Professor Mondal, before we move on, here's an advertisement for, here's an advertisement, and I'm reading out the advertisement. This is for the post of Technical Assistant Grade 1, dated the 10th of June this year, from Alia University, an autonomous institution under the Department of Minority Affairs and Madrasa Education, Government of West Bengal. This says, I'm reading the advertisement verbatim. Alia University invites applications from Indian citizens having knowledge in Islamic culture in prescribed pro forma for regular appointments to the post of Technical Assistant Grade 1 in the Department of Electrical Engineering and to the post of Technical Assistant in the Department of Geography. For details, please visit our website. Now, what has the knowledge of Islamic culture got to do with the post for this, for which this ad is meant for?
Pranesh, can I come in here?
Can I reply? Do you know who is the Vice Chancellor of... You know who is the Vice Chancellor of this university?
No, the Vice Chancellor is the governor.
Chosen by the Chancellor. He is an
I know that. But what do you make of this?
Where can I even speak? You do not know this. The Vice Chancellor of this university is chosen by the Chancellor. He is an IPS officer. He's 70 years old, IPS officer. His friend from Kerala does not know anything about running an institution. And this man, the Chancellor, is doing mayhem in all the state universities for the last 1 month. And yesterday only, the Supreme Court thrust him. Please be informed. This university is not being run by the state government now because the control has been taken by the Chancellor. Supreme Court had to intervene and deliver a judgment yesterday only.
Will
now
the Dr. Ranganathan, I'm coming to you.
The Vice Chancellor,
Professor Mondal, will the state take action? Will the state take action? Is this fair? Is this kosher?
IPS officer, retired IPS officer. Of course, because this is an autonomous institution. But nonetheless, the state government will do whatever it can. Because
Lokesh Jindal also is enthusiastic about answering this.
Who is appointed by BJP.
Okay.
With respect to this advertisement that you're talking, so Article 30 of the Constitution gives the right to establish and administer educational institutions to minorities. Over there are specific provisions whereby all forms of bylaws and all in accordance to the basic law of the land, these institutions can adhere to certain form of prerequisites. So there
prerequisite for technical assistant, 1 minute. Having knowledge in Islamic culture, someone who works in a university. No, 1 minute. Dr. Ranganathan, you know a thing or two about university, academia. Please come in.
No, I mean, let's talk about, yes, he's right about Article 30, but again I ask, where is your high moral ground and upstanding and morality? Do you need to recite a verse to change an electric bulb? Next you will say, and finally, let me refute Professor Manojit Mandal. First of all, I side with Shehzad as far as the data is concerned. I have to look at the data Professor Mondal has cited because credibility is an issue. But number two, even if the data was right, it is a fact that every university that has been funded by the state or the center is constitutionally mandated to reserve some places teaching positions for SC and ST. If they are not being filled up to the capacity, that is not the problem of constitutionally mandated. But you need to answer this. How many Dalit teachers are there in AMU? That is the problem. There the constitutional mandate is not to have any teachers, not to force. Have Dalit teachers in AMU and then you are silent. Where is your morality then? Tail lene gayi hai.
Professor Mondal, quick response and we move on.
Can I what? That is the question, my dear friend, why these seats are remaining vacant. Because we could not uplift them. I am a proud Dalit who was born and brought up in a Naxalite area, and I'm teaching in one of the best institutions in the world. That's because of reservation. And AMU, who runs AMU, my dear friend? It is situated in UP. It is run by the central government. That's a central university. Why you cannot do this? Why you cannot implement reservation policy? Delhi University,
there is only one
JNU,
teacher,
who
Dalit
runs
teacher
this
in
university?
AMU.
All the central universities
look
are
at
run
the
by the
report.
central government, and you cannot implement the reservation policy. That's your failure. That's why I picked up all the central
Professor
institutes.
Mondal.
And please look into the state institutes. They are all still being manned properly. What are you talking about?
Okay,
It's your
Shehzad,
responsibility to run the central institute.
AMU is in Uttar
IIM,
Pradesh.
and
You
all
must
these central
answer that
universities.
question
Like
according to
AMU,
Professor Mondal. It's a
Let me answer that. Let me answer that. Let me answer that. So I hope that the Trinamool Congress, officially, not unofficially, will say that the mistake made by the Congress government to revoke the reservation in AMU was wrong, and that we also want that reservation for Dalits should be there in AMU. And point number 2, somebody said it's a minority institution for Alia University. Does Alia University get funds from the central and from the government of West Bengal? Yes. Then why is it taking funds? If it is a minority institution and wants to do whatever it wants, then why it's taking the government funds? So give up the government funds. बोलिए लोकेश जी, दोनों पॉइंट पे बोलिए. माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशन बनिए ना. जैन इंस्टीट्यूशन अपना खुद का चलाते हैं. वो जो करना चेक करें.
No, he's responding.
पैसा सरकार का चाहिए. इंस्टीट्यूशन माइनॉरिटी बननी चाहिए.
Pranesh, can I answer?
Quickly.
If you read Article 30, Clause 1, it clearly states that the minorities, religious or linguistic, they have the right to establish and administer educational institutions.
दलित अपलिफ्टमेंट कहाँ गया?
No,
दलित
wait a
अपलिफ्टमेंट
minute.
याद नहीं आ रहा.
So why don't you file a PIL? Why don't you ask the Supreme
No,
Court?
why don't you ask? No,
You are
should you
obtaining
not be
the
asking
opposition.
this question?
No,
Professor Mondal not be asking this question. That's the problem, Lokesh Jindal. You see, even when something like this is highlighted, you shift the onus and say that why don't you do this? This is a case of selective outrage. 1 minute. We'll have to move on. We'll have to move on because viewers, there's another subject that we must focus on.